guys, Saki here from Saki Tech, and as you can see I have an iPhone XR sitting right in front of me. Now this one is going to be in red color, and in this video what we're going to do is we are going to unbox this product, see what's in the box, take a look at the phone, and then turn on the phone and do a first time setup and do a quick review of the actual software. So let's dive in and get started. Let's lift the box up and see what's inside. So there we go. Now we're going to lift this up. It's going to have a user guide or something in there. And then we have the actual iPhone XR. Let me lift that up also. And as you can see, it's in that red color. And this color actually looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So as far as the actual build quality of the phone and the coloring, it's a rock solid smartphone. Now let's put that aside for a minute and let's see what's in here. So we have the ear pods. That have a lightning port, so they're going to connect to the lightning port of your smartphone right over here. And of course we have the actual charging brick. Now this is going to be a slow charging brick, and then if you lift this up at the bottom you have the the lightning cable, the USB 2 lightning cable. All right, so those are the things you get in the box, nothing more. So let's put this inside just like that, put that aside, and let's do a tour of the actual smartphone. So here's the smartphone. And as you can see, it's in the red color. And if you look over here, it even says product red. Now, as you can see, it is actually a very gorgeous color to have for this smartphone. Now, let's do a quick tour around the device to see what is happening over here. So here we have the 12 megapixel camera and the LED flashlight. We've got the Apple logo. And of course, we've got the iPhone and the product red inscription. And at the bottom here, we have the lightning port as well as one speaker. So one of these guys is actually a speaker. And the secondary speaker is built into the top over here into the actual earpiece, also where the Face ID system resides. And if you look on the side over here, you have the power button. All right, nothing on here. Here we have the SIM card tray that gets ejected with a pin. And over here we have the mute and unmute button and the volume rockers, volume up, volume down. And that's basically everything we have around the phone. Now I'll let you know that the build quality on this smartphone, on the iPhone XR, is very good. So it's almost equal to the iPhone XS and the XS Max. It's glass in the back, glass on the front. It's got wireless charging and everything, all right? So what we're gonna do now is we are going to actually fire the phone up and do a first time setup. So let's move on and get started. All right, so here we have the classic iPhone setup welcome screen. So let's swipe up, see what's going to happen. So it says hello. We're going to swipe right up. It wants me to choose a language. I want to tap on that. And then it wants me to select a country or region. So let's tap on that as well. Now, if you do have an existing iPhone or an iPad, you can bring it next to the iPhone and it's going to inherit all the settings such as Wi-Fi and passwords from that product into this product. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tap on setup manually, which is what most people are going to be doing anyway. So let's tap on setup manually. And then it wants me to pick a Wi-Fi. Let's pick this one over here. Let me dump in the password. Okay, so let's tap on join. So it's going to join the actual network. And let's see what happens next. Okay, so it's trying to activate the actual iPhone. It's going to take a couple seconds here. Let's wait. Okay, so those are the data and privacy settings. You want to read over that and then click continue. And then you can set the Face ID or you can skip it. So basically it's just going to, the Face ID system on the notch over here is going to scan your face and it's going to unlock your phone for you. Now this is the same exact Face ID system and version you're going to find on the iPhone XS. Alright, so let's tap on continue over here. Actually cancel that. We're going to skip this for now, set up later. So it wants you to create a passcode. You can do that as well. I'm going to tap on passcode options. I'm going to skip to don't use passcode for now. We're just doing an initial setup. So don't use passcode. And then we're going to go to the apps and data. Do you want to restore the smartphone? I'm going to set it up as a brand new iPhone. So tap that. And then it wants me to put in the Apple ID, which I'm going to do right now. All right, so that's being set up right now. Then it's going to ask me to pick accept terms and conditions. Let's tap on agree. And it's going to take a few minutes to set up your Apple ID. So let's wait for that to happen as well. All right, so we're in the next screen. It wants me to pick up the Express settings. I'm going to just pick the actual Express settings, but you can always tap on customize settings and pick things one by one. All right, so keep your iPhone up to date. Let's tap on continue. It's going to happen automatically. Enable location services, so the iPhone knows exactly where I am to use the location-based services. And then it wants me to set up Siri. I'm going to skip that as well for a minute. set up later in settings. And then the screen time is a weekly report on how you use your iPhone. It keeps track of the apps that you guys use, and it tells you how much time you're wasting on apps like games or social media applications, and then you can manage it. So we can also set up later in settings. I'm going to show you that in a second. iPhone analytics, share with Apple, don't share. I'm just going to say don't share. Do you want the True Tone display? You can tap on this to see without the True Tone and with the True Tone. I like the True Tone display. I'm going to keep it like that. Tap on that as well. And then it wants you to pick a zoom, standard or zoomed. You tap on choose a view, and then you can see which one you like. Okay, so that's the zoomed version. The icons are a little bit bigger, and that's the standard version. Okay, then you tap on next. And then it wants you to go home by swiping up. It gives you a little tutorial here on how to use your smartphone. Tap on that. Switching between apps is very easy. Tap on that. Quick access to controls. Tap, and then welcome to iPhone. Swipe up to get started. So it was talking about this. If you swipe, that's fine. If you swipe from the top, it's going to bring down the control panel. If you swipe from the other angles, it's going to bring the today's screen. And of course, if you swipe from, if I launch an application just like that, I can do this to go back home. Okay, so those are the basics of navigation on these new iPhones that do not have a home button on the front. All right, so let's look around. We have the apps, of course. Over here, we have the actual, let's just always allow. We have the actual widget screen over here that can be customized at the bottom here. And if you do go to the settings, I was talking about the screen time earlier. If you come over here, you'll see the screen time option. It should be somewhere here. Let's see, right there. Tap on it. Again, this screen time gives you insights about the time you spend on your iPhone. If you want to, you can enable this or disable this and manage your time and how you spend your time with your iPhone. Okay, and then click continue. This is my phone, and then you can say turn on screen time, and then you got the downtime. You got the app limits, so you can set limits on the apps. You can also choose apps that you do not ever set limits on, like the phone or the messaging. And then you get other options here that allows you to block certain applications from being accessed by other people. But again, this is just screen time. I'm not going to go into the details. If you do have an iPhone XR, go ahead and play with this option. It's a new option in iOS 12. But other than that, it's just a regular iPhone. Now, as you can see, it's the same settings like any other iPhone. Now, what I'm going to do, let me just increase the brightness a little bit here. Okay. So we're almost approximately at 60% over here. So let me just grab an iPhone 10 over here and put that at 60% as well, right over here. And then let's take a look at the bezels. Now, as you can see, the bezels on this smartphone are a little bit thicker than the bezels on this smartphone. So the iPhone XS does have thinner bezels. This one has thicker bezels. And of course, very soon I'm going to do a full comparison between these two smartphones so you can see all the differences in a step-by-step fashion. And of course, I'm going to give you guys a conclusion on which phone to choose between these two, which is a question a lot of people have been asking about. The iPhone XR versus the iPhone XS. I'm going to tell you what that is. But for now, let's go back to the XR. And that's basically everything I want to talk about. We did an unboxing, we did a tour, and we also looked at the overall settings and the first time setup. But again, if you go to the settings also, I do want to let you know, if you do go to the camera, something a lot of people are going to be using, here's where you change the settings of your videos, your slow motions, and other options pertaining to the camera settings. So if you just launch the camera, all you can do is swipe back and forth between different shooting modes. But if you want to change the settings of video recording capabilities, you go to that actual settings screen. Of course, if you're brand new to the iPhones, I'm going to show you one more thing really quickly. If you buy the iPhone and you're not fully familiar with everything, just swipe down. This is the search bar. Tap tips over here. Just type tips and then tap on the tips button. And it's going to give you some tips to get you started with your iPhone. So if I tap on what's new in iOS 12, it's got like 9 tips to help me out. It talks about emojis, talks about the messages, do not be disturbed options and all that stuff. So again, one more thing I forgot to mention is the screen on this product does not have 3D touch like the iPhone 8 Plus or the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10 and 10s Max and all that stuff. So when you swipe down on the control center, Normally, you do a 3D pressure touch on these to expand the options. With this one, you just press and hold. So when you press and hold, it gives you a taptic feedback as well, and you get access to extra options under each setting. For example, if I tap on the music, it's going to expand and it's going to give me a bigger player and some other options at the bottom. Okay, so again, it's not 3D touch, but it's press and hold. So press and hold, and you also get a feedback when you do it. So that's another thing I wanted to quickly mention. Alright guys, make sure to subscribe to Saki Tech, drop your comments below, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Have a fantastic day.